Hey there, Jamie here, and in this video, I'm going to show you how I've created a full AI-driven data and analytics agent that basically runs reports every Monday morning for our company, and it shows us the data we want to see from Google Analytics, from Google Search Console, and then gives us insights and recommendations on what we should be doing first. Now, this entire AI agent that runs sub-agents under here that I'll dig into in just a moment, we get this report via email that shows us the data we want to see. We get to see what's performing and what isn't from our SEO, from our top level referring sites, and most importantly, we get these amazing traffic reports and SEO reports with insights and recommendations on what we should be doing next. So how does this actually work? Well, there are actually three parts to our AI data and analytics system. We've got our main analytics manager here that basically orchestrates and gathers and organizes all of the data from two different data sources and basically procures, if you will, or gathers that data and formats that into an email that we want to see every single week. So at 7 a.m. every Monday morning, this agent triggers and it goes to work. It gathers data and organizes data from two sub-agents. So we've got our Google Analytics agent here that pulls data directly from our GA4 account. It organizes that data based off of a 7-day time period and a comparison on the previous week. It then formats that data into the metrics we want to see. And it then analyzes that data and gives us insights and recommendations on the GA4 metrics we're interested in. We've then got our SEO console data or AI agent that does exactly the same thing. So it makes the calls to our SEO console. It gets all of that data. It formats that into data or metrics and tables that we want to see based off of things like top queries. Again, we're focused really heavily on just launching our blog on this particular site here. So we want to know what's working, what's being indexed, where we're getting impressions, all of that stuff. And then we've got an AI agent at the bottom here that analyzes that data for us and actually gives us recommendations on the type of content we should be looking at for our blog, what's working and what isn't. All of that is done automatically and it's all managed by this one main AI agent at the top here. Once this data comes back from these two sub-agents, it is then produced into a nicely formatted email, as you can see here, with all the data we want to see. And those two very important reports down the bottom. We've got a website traffic report and an SEO report that shows us the top level stuff, but also what we should be focusing on doing next. I'm now going to walk you through these different steps, show you how to technically set this up and how you can set this up for your business to do the same thing. Now, just before I jump into the technical build here and go through all of these different nodes, if you want to skip all of that and you just want to grab this workflow, this one here and this one, and basically upload these into your own n8n account, which you can do in one click, you can grab these from our community. It's a free community, beta state. This is where we share all of our builds. This is where we share what we're working on as a business. When it comes to AI, we're all about what we do in our business with AI and then share what we're actually using in our business. We don't just create random workflows or random AI agents. We're actually trying to build a business with AI agents, and we document that inside of our incredible community here. Now, this entire workflow and this one, which is all connected, and I'm going to go through these in this video, they're all available for a free download. You can go and grab them all at no cost. Go to our community. You'll see a link in the description. Just click that, join our community for free, and you can navigate to our workflow drops and download these workflows from there. So let's deep dive into all three workflows here, how they work, how they run through, and how this entire system comes together. So we basically schedule this to run on Monday mornings, 7 a.m. So at 7 a.m. Monday mornings, this triggers, and it triggers our main analytics AI agent. So this agent basically runs off of this prompt, and we basically instruct this agent to follow some simple steps to produce that final report. So first off, the role. So you're an analytics marketing manager agent for a UK AI-based website. So this particular workflow you're seeing here is running live on our truth.ai website. You are an orchestrator that coordinates the analytics and data report collection, etc., etc. And then we've got the task. So we set the task and workflow out in specific steps. So it's step 1, trigger the Google Analytics weekly report tool. So this is our Google Analytics sub-agent, our sub-AI agent. I'm going to show you what that tool does in a second. We then tell it, what to expect from it, what we're looking for from it, and what we want this particular main AI manager to do. We then go on to step 2. So once you've done step 1, step 2, trigger the SEO console weekly report tool. Again, the same thing. This is a separate AI agent that goes out there, grabs the data from our SEO console, and then basically produces some reports and data. So we tell it what to expect from this particular tool. So once these two things have been done successfully, we then move it on to step 3, which is to format a HTML email with the following information. So we actually have this set out like this. So we've got weekly traffic change section, we've got a weekly search performance, 7-day search performance, SEO top queries, engagement breakdown. Again, these sections are based off of what we want to see within our business. And you might be happy with the same things, but again, you can edit this prompt and you can construct a different type of email and data email based off of what you want to see, what's important to your business. Now, finally, present the sections clearly and readably as HTML. So we go through designing and formatting, make sure things are formatted properly. We also, as well, this is important, critical. Include all rows in every table. Because we're sending quite a bit of data to this AI agent, if we don't have these critical points in here, it can sometimes truncate the rows. It can remove rows, but we want to see them all within our email. We also let it know you do not make strategic decisions. You should not attempt to use the sub-agents for anything else. But most importantly, those strategic decisions, we don't want this AI agent hallucinating or doing anything or adding to this. We just want it to orchestrate the flow. Let the sub-agents do their work. Let them do the analysis. Once you've got that data back, we want you just to format that nicely into HTML designed email. So this is how this prompt works. So again, once this is triggered at 7 a.m., that's going to first trigger our Google Analytics weekly report agent. The first thing we actually do, and let me zoom in here a little bit so you can see these nodes a little bit better, is once it's executed, we calculate the dates. So the first thing is calculating what the dates are that we want to run this on. As I mentioned, we basically run this or trigger this on a Monday morning at 7 a.m. so that we can run data based off of the previous week, Monday to Sunday. So the first call we actually make here to Google Analytics and our API here on truth.ai is basically the previous 7 days, so the last complete calendar week. And this particular first call here brings through our top level data, how many clicks we've got, sessions, page views, all of that. Now, it's important to point out at this stage, for this to work, so for you to be able to call GA4 as we're doing here and as I'm going to show you in a second, and also call the SEO console, which I'll show you in the next workflow, you will need a Google Cloud app set up. So you'll need to set this and configure this before this will work. I have produced a separate video inside our community with this workflow drop. So I show you how to configure a Google Cloud app so it works. All the scopes, all of that. It is free to do as well. This won't cost you anything, but I go through all the technical stuff in a separate video because I don't want this video running on too long going through Google Cloud. So check out our free community for that video with this workflow drop. So going back to our workflow here, so we grab that main top level data here from the previous 7 days. And then we run this in sort of 3 different or 4 different parts. So the first main part is this one here. So first off, we go and get specific data. So we're looking at traffic via URL. So we can actually see our top URL traffic that's coming through. As you can see, there's 308 pages down here. So there's lots and lots of data, over 3,000 items of data. This is why we split this into sub-agents. There's a lot of data being worked with here. Trying to do this in one workflow with one agent, there's just too much to deal with. So we split this out. We also get session campaign data and landing page data. We then push this through these functions here so we can, again, format this and parse this properly. And we merge each one into this merge node here. So all this node does is it basically takes all of these 3 different flows and it will merge them all into one huge amount of data, one item. There's so much data here, as you can see, just scrolling down, so much to work with. We then push this through to a HTML or Markdown and HTML function. So we take all this data from the merge node and we format this into tables. We do this in Markdown and HTML format. The reason we do this here is because we then push this finally up to that main AI agent. So we finally, this item here, as you can see, goes into input 3 in this case here. Probably should change that around so it's easier to see, but this goes into this merge node here. This node here is capturing all data that we're going through here in 4 different parts and capturing this to send this back up to that main AI agent. So that's the first part here. Moving along down to the next section, we're doing 2 things here. So the first thing is we pull through, we summarize the Google Analytics input from this main part here. So remember, we pulled just the last 7 days main top level metrics as a beginning point or a beginning point. We initially summarize that. So we get that summarized into the main metrics we want to see. We then calculate the previous 7 days. So if you remember, we run an API call where we get the previous calendar week. Well, we want the previous one to that as well, because we want a comparison. I want to see what does last week's data look like compared to the week before. So that's what we're doing here. We're just running a quick function just to get, again, a start and an end date from the week prior. We can then run another API call to Google to get that comparison week. So as you can see here, this is the comparison week. Once we've got that comparison week, we summarize it again here. So we've just got the top level numbers for that week, and we throw that into our first sub AI agent here. Now this AI agent here has one task. That task is to take all of the data from this summary here, and also this summary here. So we're getting the previous 7 days and the previous 7 days. And its job is to basically create an output table that compares this. So this particular agent, as you can see from the prompt here, it's got a lot of inputs from the previous week, and we just basically show it how we want this formatting. We also give this particular agent access to a calculator as well. So it runs a calculation on those percentage decreases or increases based off of our top level traffic. Now, alongside this particular flow here, so once that is done there, we merge that data, as you can see over here again. And then we also run one more track off this, where we run an API call to a chart API. So it is Quick Chart, and Quick Chart produce that graph. So inside our email, at the top here, we have this graph. This is produced by Quick Chart, and that one comes from this particular API call here. It's very simple. You just have to call an API URL with what you want and the data you want, which is what we've got here. So you can see we've got this quickchart.io URL. This is this chart here. Again, once we've got that back from Quick Chart, we fire that into this merge as well. So we've now got 3 pieces of data in this merge. Now we finally got our 4th merge that I need to talk about. And this 4th bit of data is the exciting part, because this is where we're getting actual insight and recommendations. And when it comes to GA4, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you're anything like us, you'll log in there and you don't really know where to start with it all. You might be on YouTube looking at GA4 tutorials, trying to figure out your data. Well, we use AI to do that for us. So what we do here is, once all of this has been done above, we then bring all the data down here. So all of this data dropping down here, we then upload to Google Sheets. So all that's happening here on these particular loops is we're taking the individual pieces of data. Now, these are these GA4 calls. So this is like our URLs, the landing pages, the sessions, all of that, and our top level data. We're then just running this through a loop and basically adding this to Google Sheets. So we have a Google Sheet. Again, there's links in the community to our Google Sheet we use. And we add this data to a Google Sheet, and then we move through to our overview agent. And I've got a misspell in there, which is going to annoy me, so I am going to actually change this now. So total overview agent, So this is basically our AI agent that's about to analyze all of that data we've been pulling from GA4. So it's got access to our Google Sheets via the tool. So it can, and again, we've got access to our Think node as well, or our Think tool, so it can actually analyze and start to reason on our data. So let's look at the prompt here. So you are a senior web analytics consultant tasked with generating a weekly website traffic report based on Google Analytics 4 data provided via 3 Google Sheets. So we want to make sure, again, we are directing this AI agent on what it should be looking at and in what order. So you must, number one, use each tool separately and analyze one data set at a time. So it doesn't, again, start to just randomly decide what it should do. This is the importance of prompts. You want your prompts to be concise and very specific to what you want to see. If you just go, analyze this bit of data, it will just imagine or hallucinate in some cases, but just think, well, I'll just give you this information. It's probably not going to be what you had in mind. So specifics are very, very important. So use each tool separately, analyze them separately. For each data set, generate a section of the report. Summarize the report with a final section, insights and recommendations based solely on the data from the previous sections. So it grabs the data, it again formats and reasons on that data and looks at the data, and then we ask it for insights and recommendations. We've gone fairly high level here, so we get a high level report. So you can leave this as is or change this. So once this is fully done, this is then sent. I mean, you can see the output here. Let me open that back up. So this is the output. So you can see it's got a ton of output here. So in this merge, we have data on specific uses or metrics we're looking at in GA4. We've got a 7-day comparison on our top level GA4 data. We've got a quick chart image as well of our data for the past 7 days. And then finally, we have a full analysis report from this agent down here on all of that data, which is then merged in here. So that is what is here. And that gets sent, as you see here, back upstream to our AI main agent, who is going to take this data and format that into an email. Okay, so once our Google Analytics agent has completed its work and it's fired all of the output back up to that main AI agent, the main AI agent then calls our SEO console agent. So this is set up in almost an identical way to our Google Analytics workflow that we've just looked at, but the focus of this one is entirely on Google search. We don't call GA4 for this. We actually call the Google Search Console API directly. We prefer the data from there from an SEO point of view. Again, this is our business and this is our focus. We've just launched a blog on truth.ai, so we want to focus now on how we can improve that through the use of data and analysis, and that's what we use this AI agent workflow for. So again, we calculate the dates for the previous 7 days, and then we make 2 API calls. We've got this one here, which is our top level SEO data. So just our daily data. What's our impressions, clicks, click-through rate, position, or average position. And then we make another call to get the top queries. So we want to know what the top 50 keywords that are being searched for or we are appearing for right now. That's based off of impressions and clicks. And again, 2 different types of data. Now, if we focus on this top level here, so the first bit of data, we do exactly the same as what we did in GA with the GA4, so the Google Analytics agent. We get the 7-day data, and then we calculate the previous 7 days, and then we format this, summarize this, and we then push this through to an AI agent that then formats this into a table as seen here. So as you can see, we input a lot of different values here, show the AI agent how we want this formatted. And this is a table that just shows our 7-day versus previous 7-day sort of top level report, percentage decreases, increases, and again, it has access to the calculator tool here to do that. So once it's done that, again, same as before, we merge that here. We also merge the top level data. You can't really see because of the line here, but it's this one here. So we do take the top level data from those SEO results, or that SEO call, and we merge that separately as well here. So we merge 2 different types of data, just because we want to use both in the email. I want to see our top level data for the past 7 days, but then I also want to see some comparisons. So that's what we do there. From our top level, sort of top queries API call, first off, we just merge that directly. So we send that directly into this merge call as well. So we've got our top queries. So again, our main AI agent can put that into the email. And then we send the rest of that data down here. So our top query level data that pops down here, as well as our main SEO console data, as you can see the two arrows coming down, or the two flows, these are going to come into these two loops here. Same as Google Analytics, we loop over all of this data and we add this to a Google Sheets, and then we push into our analysis agent. So this AI agent down here, again, two prompts. We've got our system prompt down here, which works in exactly the same way as previous. So again, slightly different because of what this particular AI agent does. You're a senior SEO agent responsible for generating part of a weekly SEO performance report using data from two Google Sheets. We run through in steps what it should do, our expected flow, rules, and what our output it needs to look like. And then we obviously get this output result from that, which is here. So this output result here. So again, this is the output from running through this. We do have a user prompt on this as well, which just basically pops in the date of what we're actually comparing this on. And again, it basically talks about the tools it's got access to. So as previous, it has access to the Google Sheets that we've just uploaded the data to. It has access to this Think node as well. It's all there for this tool to use, and we just explain how and what it should use within those prompts. Once it's finished and it's produced its analysis, we then run it through our document flow. So it uploads to a Google Doc, grabs that Google Doc URL, fires that into a Google Sheet as well, and then we'll return that to this merge. And then this merge merges all of that data from our SEO call, or our SEO console calls and analysis report, and then again uploads that, or fires that upstream to our main AI agent, which now has access to all the data it needs to produce its final report. So we now get to the end of this AI workflow. The main AI agent now has all of the data from Google Analytics, from the SEO console API calls, and also those analysis reports. Remember, the recommendations, the insights, all of that. It has all of the tables, everything. So now it has all of this data. This AI agent's last task is to basically produce an email. So it does this by initially grabbing the SEO report and the GA4, or the Google Analytics report. So if you remember with the Google Analytics and SEO console workflows, they upload a report at the very end to Google Sheets. So it goes and grabs and downloads those reports. It then creates a HTML email. So it restyles HTML for the email. And again, if we go into the system prompt here and you look down, we show how it needs to do this. There we are, design and formatting. We just basically give it free rein, but we do give it some structure. And then it also produces a PDF report of the email. So this is just an extra thing. You don't need this. But what it does is it restyles HTML for an actual report. We then generate a PDF report using pdf.co. We use an API over on pdf.co. We get that report via, again, a link to that report, merge all of that data, and then we construct an email. So the email is easily constructed. We add some of these attachments. So the latest GA4 complete report, that's like a PDF of the email. Obviously the report, the GA4 report, and the SEO report. And we've obviously got in the output here, or the main message of the email, the styled email HTML. So that it literally just will take what the AI agent styles, and then it sends out the email report to your email with this subject line. Obviously, you can edit all of that up, and then you finally receive the email. So the email then looks like this. So this is all of the HTML email. We've got our chart in there. We've got, again, top-level search performance, top-level 7-day performance, and weekly top queries, all of it. And as you can see at the bottom here, we've got it in PDF format, as I mentioned. This is sort of a little add-on. It's the same data that we've got in the email, but you may prefer a PDF that you can pass around, especially if you work with other people that want this data as well. And then we've got our traffic report and our SEO report as well, that our GA and SEO console agents created. So we've now got a full data and analytics workflow entirely automated at 7 a.m. Monday morning, using AI agents. And this produces, again, exactly what we want. It produces the data we want to see, but most importantly, insights and recommendations we can work from. And then finally, if you're wondering what these are, we delete all of the data from our Google Sheets once we've run through this successfully. That's just because it keeps them fresh for the following week to run through all of that data again. Again, you may want to take this further. You may want to hold on to this data or add data to a database and refer back to data. We're looking at making a monthly one of these as well. So not only do we get 7-day reports, but we get a monthly report as well, which gives you a more zoomed out view, especially when it comes to SEO. It's not an overnight thing, is it? So that's what we want from our business. But this is your own data and analytics AI analysis agent workflow that you can set up for your company and have this working for you every single week without having to hire a data or an analytics agency or freelancer. You can do all of this. Now, as I mentioned already in this video, you can download this entire workflow. We've done the work for you. You can go and grab it. You just need to join our community. You'll see a link to that in the description below. This is available for full download in there. I've also got another video in there as well, which shows you some of the technical setups of the Google Cloud stuff as well, if you want to see that. But come and join our community, share what you're working on, come and check out what we're doing within our business, come and download this free workflow. And I hope you can get this set up for your business to understand your data and analytics stuff in much better detail, so you can actually take action on this stuff. So I'm going to end this. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Hit like if you found this interesting. If you've got something from this video, I massively appreciate it. If you've got questions, fire those in the comments as well, and I'll answer whatever I can. But again, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video where we share more of what we're doing with AI.